education, health, physical, and mental, and supporting economic stability for youth and their families. So the National Provider Network began as a regional meeting of community providers known as LAN 53, and LAN stands for Local Area Network. And in the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois, it is divided in different LANs, and we were LAN 53. LAN 53 served children and families through the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services. And then in 2019, Family to Family Federation for Children's Mental Health joined the LAN as the lead agency with the task of strengthening the organization to grow the network. Then in 2020, Lions Club International Foundation joined the network, providing funds through LAN 53 for social emotional learning and training for organizations that serve youth. During the COVID pandemic, Zoom meetings afforded us the opportunity to provide intellectual and compassionate conversations around access to basic services beyond our geographical border. So that's why we have these people that are with us that are not from Chicago and not from Illinois. These borders that we were originally serving were 4 townships, and they were Rich, Brennan, Thornton, Bloom, and the communities of Harvey, Dalton, Calumet City, and Robbins. And to that end, in 2022, LAN 53 was rebranded as the National Provider Network. So I just want to say to people, get comfortable, get your coffee, your water, your soda, and sit back. And we are going to talk about Mental Health Action Day. And I will call on people to introduce yourselves, and you could tell us a little bit about who you are, tell us who you are, and a little bit about where you're from and what you do. So we're going to start with my girl, Geraldine Johnson. Look at her. She's like, what me? Yep, you. Okay, come on, Geraldine.
Thank you for allowing me to go first, because I actually have to jump off and get on I'm in a conference this week. So
okay, cool beans.
I want to introduce myself. I'm Geraldine Johnson. I run a home visiting program called Family Enrichment Program, but I'm also now the project manager for the Birth to 5 Forum, which is a collaboration of early childhood programs in the South suburbs that are working together to help close the gaps for early childhood programs and services. I don't know if anybody is familiar, but the state of Illinois has just identified a whole list of communities that have preschool deserts. And what a preschool desert is any area or community that does not have enough early childhood programming to serve the at-risk population. And so about, I would say, 15 of our communities in the South suburban area are considered preschool deserts. And so our work at Birth to 5 Forum is to try to help close some of those gaps. And so in the next few weeks, maybe at the next meeting or so, I would love to do a presentation, Suzette, about
Absolutely.
what we are planning for Birth to 5 Forum. We are going to be planning this summer a lot of outreach events. I'm going to put my email in the chat. We're going to be doing a lot of outreach events, health fairs. We are planning to partner with 4 children's museums to provide free entry into the children's museums with a developmental screening for your child. And so we need our LAN 53 partners to help promote our event in the community. So be looking to hear from me a whole lot. I'm hoping that I can count on some of you all to join as partners and help us to find children and get them into preschool and early childhood programs.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we'll be in touch and we'll talk.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Thank you. All right. Next we have David Spellman.
Good morning, all. My name is David Spellman. I am a behavior specialist in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm also the author of the book, Just Like Music, Social Emotional Learning Inspired by Hip Hop.
Helping my brother. I'm helping my brother sell this book. Welcome, David. Next, we have Nadia-Al-Amin.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. Your energy is, I never get to be in meetings like this. So I'm excited to be here. I'm Nadia-Al-Amin. I'm the Assistant Regional Director for SAMHSA, or Substance Abuse and Mental Services Administration. I work with Region 5, which includes the state of Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, Minnesota, Ohio, Wisconsin, and the 34 federally recognized tribes in this region. And I'll be doing a short-ish presentation for you all in a minute, but I'm excited to meet all of you and hear what you all do.
Thank you, Nadia. Next, we have Callie.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Kelly Jones. I am a health educator senior with Cook County Health Department. So I just realized there's another Kelly. I hope you were calling me. I'm sorry.
Okay, wait, it doesn't matter because after you, Kelly, then I'm gonna call the other Kelly.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to overstep. I'm sorry.
No,
Kelly,
it's all good, baby. It's all good. We are family here. It's all
Thank
good.
you. Glad to be here. I'm going to be popping in and out. I hope to hear the presentation. I have a plumbing emergency. I'm about to open the door for the plumber, so I'm going to be running back and forth. So nice to meet you all. Have a good day.
Okay, and if we can help, let me know. All right, next we have the other Kelly.
Good morning. I'm Kelly Tavermina. I am the nurse supervisor for the Nurse Family Partnership Program at Metropolitan Family Services.
Yay. Next we have my girl Shanae.
Good morning, all. I am Shanae Weems, the community liaison for River Edge Hospital. For those of you who may or may not know about River Edge is one of the largest freestanding behavioral health, mental health, and psychiatric facilities in the state of Illinois in Forest Park. And we service the lifespan, children starting as young as age 5 through adult seniors.
Thank you. And now we have a new person to the family. His name is Dan Ware. Hey, Dan, welcome.
Hey, good morning. I am excited to be here. Thank you all for having me. My name is Dan. I am with the community coordinator for the Urban Male Network. We do male mentoring across Chicago, and now we're expanding to the south suburbs. We're in 9 high schools in the city, and in the south suburbs in Dalton, we're now offering boxing classes, cooking classes, gaming, music production, all geared towards mental health for young urban men. And we have 40 spots available right now. We only have 25 people in our program, and it's free to the community. So I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to be able to partner with such a room full of amazing people.
Thank you for
Hey,
coming.
Dan,
And you know
I'm
what?
sorry.
I personally will be in touch. Okay.
Yeah. What ages do you go?
We service ages 12 to 18.
Needed.
So we're in, like I said, 9 high schools. We do some 8th grade and 7th grade work with some organizations, and we're just looking to service as many as we can. And our program is growing for sure. So we're excited.
Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Next up, we'll have Matt.
Hi, I'm Matt Hari with Employment and Employer Services. We are located in the Cedar office in Harvey. And what we do, I'm the outreach specialist there. And what we do is, help people with we're career coaches and finding employment.
Thank you, Matt. Welcome. Next, we have Olivia. Hey, Olivia.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm Olivia. I am a nurse home visitor at Metropolitan Family Services with the Nurse Family Partnership Program. Kelly Tavermina is my supervisor, and I'm excited to hear what everyone has to say today. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my God. Next up, we have my guy and my fellow Lion brother, Charlie Short. You're
Hi, folks. Yeah, I'm Charlie Short. I am the state Quest chair for Indiana and very pleased to announce that we have we're working an expression of interest from the Jeffersonville schools down by Louisville to install Quest. I also am on the Regional Prevention Council for DMHA in Indiana. And I also am the board president for Surf Center. We organize and coordinate all of the 12-step programs in our area and work closely with county health.
Well, Charlie, it's good seeing my brother.
Good to see you too, Suzette.
Thank you. Next up, we have James McCombs. James.
There we go.
Okay.
There we
James.
go.
Okay.
All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is James McCombs. I'm an SNAP Ed Extension educator with the University of Illinois Extension. We partner with organizations to promote healthy eating and physical activity. And I'm thankful to be here this morning.
Thank you, James. I'm glad that you are here. Next up, we have Allison. That we don't want to talk about the sunny weather in California, but we have Allison.
I mean, we can talk about it if you want to. Hi, family. My name is Allison, and I'm in the business of educating people on their finances, helping them get out of debt, helping them with their retirement, and making sure they build generational wealth for their families. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Teresa Ramirez.
Everyone. So I'm Teresa, and I'm also with the Nurse Family Partnership Program with Kelly and Olivia. So we serve low-income pregnant women, and yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
And we are happy to have you. Okay, next up we have James Flagg, my brother.
All right, good morning. Good morning. Hello, everybody. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Suzette. James Flagg, CSBG Outreach Coordinator for CETA of Cook County. Shout out to my buddy Matt, who joined in today. Thanks for joining. Mission at CETA is to empower individuals and families facing poverty by providing them resources that allows them to access a better quality of life. We do that through a number of programs, home weatherization, WIC services, housing services. Our LIHEAP program, which helps with utility bills, is actually wrapping up and ending June 1st. And then my department, Family Support Community Engagement, where we provide a number of financial and economic resources. So it's always a pleasure to be with you all. Thanks for allowing me to talk for a few moments.
Thank you, James. Next up, we have Miss Evans.
Good morning, everybody.
Yes.
My name is Sapora Evans. I am the District Community Coordinator for Lincoln Elementary School in Kalamazoo, Illinois. I just provide resources for the families and community of Kalamazoo. So thank you.
Thank you, Miss Evans. Thank you for joining us. Next up, we have Ariel.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ariel. I am Director of Membership and Marketing for Family to Family. I also work for Northwestern University in DCFS for the MHSPP program.
Thank you, Ariel, my baby. Next up, we have Dr. Young. Dr. Young, I know you're multitasking over there doing something. There you go.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? Actually, I'm on vacation, but I still tuned in. I'm Dr. Young. I'm the Director of Student Services at Lincoln Elementary School. I'm also a Lion with Calumet City Lions Club and associate member of Coke Lions Club. I am always happy to be here among my beautiful people.
Thank you, Dr. Young. And girl, thank you for joining us on vacation, okay? Dang, you should have took me with you. You forgot something, me. Next up, we have my Libra sister, Lauren.
Hello, my Libra sister, Miss Logan. My name is Lauren Seeger. I am the Director of Program Operations at Employment and Employer Services. I work with Matt for CETA. So we also have an office in Harvey, like Matt said, but they're all over suburban Cook County. And I also work with our DFSS program, which serves anybody in the city of Chicago. So if you need a job, I'm the jobs lady.
Thank you. Next up, we have John Patterson.
Good morning. My name is John Patterson. I'm the DCFS Family Outreach, Family Advocacy Center Outreach Coordinator for Cook County. Family Advocacy Centers are a statewide network of community-based providers to provide services for not only the residents of the community, but also children and families involved with the DCFS system.
Well, thank you, John, and welcome. Always happy to have you, always. Next up, we have Felicia Houston. Felicia?
Sorry about that. I'm multitasking. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Suzette. My name is Felicia Houston, and I'm a Lion with the Calumet City chapter with Dr. Young. And I'm also a mental health consultant. I'm a trainer for mental health first aid, trauma and resiliency, and a program called Companionship. So it's just a pleasure to be here with you all. I love, love, love the energy that Suzette sets the tone for us every time we get on this call. So thank you. Good morning.
Thanks, Felicia, my girl. And last but not least, we have Kimberly Haynes. Where you at, Kim? Okay, yeah, there you are. Kimberly.
Good morning, everyone. I am also multitasking. My name is Kimberly Haynes. I am also a Lion. I'm the Vice President for the Knights of Prevention and Education Cyber Lions, or COPE. And I'm also the Executive Director for Family to Family Federation for Children's Mental Health. And we are the proud co-sponsors of this monthly gathering. So thank you all for joining.
Thank you, Kim. Okay, so first up, we have our first speaker, which is Nadia-Al-Amin, and she is with SAMHSA, Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Administration, and she is the Assistant Regional Director for Region 5. So Nadia, it's all yours, girl.
Thank you. I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Well, hello again, everyone. I'm just going to take some time and give you just an overview of some of the mental health data that we have at SAMHSA. Just describe some of the gaps in mental health treatment and mental health services. And then just talk about some of the strategies SAMHSA has to promote well-being and share some resources. Given that it's Mental Health Awareness Month, I'm going to focus on some resources that are both good for maybe the clients that you serve and for yourselves as well. So first, let's talk about the mental health numbers that we have. Okay. So here we're seeing that there is 15.4% of people aged 18 or older had a substance use disorder. 5.9% had both a substance use disorder and a mental illness, and 17.3% percent of people aged 18 or older had a mental illness. So we often know that mental illness co-occurs with substance use disorders, and this chart just shows us clearly what those numbers look like. These numbers for African Americans differ slightly. So among African Americans with substance use disorders, 4 in 9 also struggled with illicit drugs, 7 in 10 with alcohol use, 1 in 7 with illicit drugs and alcohol use, and 1 in 4 African Americans had a serious mental illness. Of those who already had a mental illness, 1 in 4 experienced a serious mental illness. Overall, we know that 1 in 5 adults have a mental illness in the US. We also know that mental illness is not easy to detect, that COVID has significantly increased mental health challenges that people have been experiencing. And unfortunately, most people, as you will see in the coming slides, most people with mental illnesses or just mental health challenges do not receive mental health services, the services that they need. Like I said earlier, mental illnesses often co-occur with substance use disorders. We know that at least half of the people who have a mental health disorder at some point in their life will also experience a substance use disorder at some point in their life. Good news is that all of the research we have shows that treatment for mental illnesses work. With appropriate treatment, people can manage their illnesses and overcome challenges and lead full productive lives. So that is kind of the goal of SAMHSA, is to make sure that people have the resources and information that they need and access that they need to overcome their behavioral health challenges, whether it be mental health or substance use challenges, and continue to lead full productive lives. So just a little bit more data. The percentage of populations with feelings of sadness, hopelessness, worthlessness, or that everything is an effort, almost all or some of the, most of the time, among persons 18 years of age and older. This is 2018 data. As I'm sure you all know, federal data is several years behind. This is from the data came out in 2021, but it's data that was collected in 2018. And here we're just seeing that there's an overall increase in feelings of sadness, hopelessness, worthlessness, and that everything is an effort, but we are seeing that these feelings have been significantly increasing among non-Hispanic Blacks over the last 10 years. So for sadness, we are seeing that there's a 1-to-6 ratio between Black and white Americans as far as feelings of sadness, and 1 in 7 as far as that everything is an effort. Hopelessness and worthlessness are still lower than white Americans. However, the 1.8s are still an increase from the previous year. Suicidal ideation among youth in 9th to 12th grade. This is for 2019. We are seeing that there's a significant increase generally among women compared to men, but then an even more significant increase among non-Hispanic Blacks compared to non-Hispanic whites. So as you can see, there's a 1 to 5 ratio in total, and then 1 to 6 for women and 1 to 3 for men. Basically, amongst all of the mental health trends we have been seeing is that there's a general increase, and then specifically there's an increase in depression, suicidal ideation, and all of these other mental health challenges among people of color, and specifically among non-Hispanic Blacks. So just some Black mental health specific data. This is data from the 2021 YRBS, or Youth Risk Behavior Survey data, which is collected by the CDC. We're seeing that Black students are more likely than Asians, Hispanics, and white students to attempt suicide. The percentage of Black students who are injured in a suicide attempt increased from 2011 to 2021, while most other groups showed no change or a decrease in percentage of students injured. Generally, we're also seeing that age-adjusted rates also increase significantly among non-Hispanic Black or African-American persons. So generally among youth, in all of the categories, essentially, there is an increase in suicidal ideation and injuries from suicidal attempts among African-Americans compared to other groups. So it's a little bit more of the gap. Because of stigma, siloed systems of care, and inadequate awareness, there's a significant gap in treatment. This is most pronounced among those with serious mental illness. A serious mental illness is a diagnosable mental, behavioral, or emotional disorder that causes a serious functional impairment that substantially interferes with or limits one or more major life activities. So these are not mood disorders. These are more serious mental health or mental illnesses such as bipolar disorder, schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder, and major depressive disorder is also categorized as a serious mental illness. So we are seeing that of adults with any mental disorder, 11.2 million, or nearly 1 in 4 adults with any mental illness had an unmet need for their mental health services. And of those with serious mental illnesses, 2 out of every 5 adults had an unmet need of their mental health services. Almost half of adults age 18 and older with any mental illness and co-occurring SUD receive no treatment at all. About 41% received mental health services only, and approximately 3% received SUD treatment only, and 7% received both. So where you see that there is a significant amount of people who are not receiving any treatment at all. Like I said, of adults with SMI and co-occurring SUDs, 30.5% received no treatment. We're seeing slightly more who received just mental health services, some a very low amount, 3% that received SUD treatment only, and about 11% that received both. And because these are co-occurring disorders, just getting a mental health treatment, even though 56% is higher than we would generally see, but just receiving mental health treatment only when you also have a substance use disorder does not lead to a full recovery and living of a full life. So it's important that you get treatment, that people get treatment for both their mental health and substance use disorders. Again, this just kind of illustrates all of the things that I was talking about, the differences or the gap in the receipt of behavioral health treatment. And so based on this data and based on the information we get from our stakeholders on the ground, SAMHSA has a new mission and vision. If you all remember or I don't know if you all ever knew our old mission and vision, but it was a pretty, it was just a one line. It was just to improve the mental health, the behavioral health of the nation. So now our mission's a little bit more involved. We lead the public health and service delivery efforts that promote mental health, prevent substance use, and provide treatments and support to foster recovery while ensuring equitable access and better outcomes. And this equitable access piece is very important, which is why I mentioned a lot of the disparities in mental health data and mental health service access, because we are working really hard to make sure that there's equitable behavioral health treatment available for everybody. And our mission and vision focus now more on improving overall mental well-being or overall well-being in general, because we look at mental health as part of being overall health and not a separate entity. And so that's what we're trying to promote. Because President Biden announced mental health as a national priority and released a national mental health agenda, it has allowed us to receive significantly more funding from Congress to do both mental health and substance use disorder work and increase funding for a lot of our grants. And informed by the National Mental Health Strategy, we've also set up new priorities and guiding principles, which are similar to our previous ones, but kind of incorporate equity, trauma-informed approaches, commitment to data and evidence and recovery as cross-cutting principles. So these 4 are principles that exist across all 5 of our priorities. So everything that we do incorporates all of these priorities and cross-cutting principles. So what are we doing at SAMHSA to improve the mental health of the nation? Given the importance of early engagement, SAMHSA has significant investment in youth mental health. And that's really where we're starting, right? We want to start when people are at their youngest ages. We're already seeing significant increases in suicidal ideation and suicidal attempts in children ages 5 to 12, especially in African-American boys ages 5 to 12. So a lot of our investment from our increased funding has gone to children's mental health. So we've invested an additional $527 million into a variety of programs, including a lot of trainings and technical assistance centers, like the Comprehensive Community Mental Health Services for children with serious emotional disturbances, which is a program that assists grantees and both grantees and their families to increase everyday functioning, increase school attendance, decrease hospitalizations due to mental health and behavioral health challenges. We have our mental health awareness training grants that have also done similar things for grantees and their families. Additionally, we have our Project Aware or state education agencies, which oftentimes colleges get these, but also some high schools can get them. This is for school personnel and community members who have participated in mental health related training. This is a program that allows providers to just kind of learn about how to support students and community members more effectively, and where to get services, how to provide services, just kind of provides a lot of referral and training both for providers and families. The recast grant is for after disasters. We have had quite a lot of school shootings, quite a lot of just natural disasters happening, especially in Region 5 lately. And so the recast grant is given to communities after some type of disaster or emergency in their community to kind of support their mental health and well-being, so that their mental health after this disaster is better than what it used to be and not worse. Next way we are addressing the mental health gaps is by addressing social determinants of health. Social determinants of health, which are the environments that people live and work in, is the environmental conditions where people are born, live, learn, work, play, worship, and age. And it affects a wide range of health, functioning, and quality of life outcomes. And so it's important to focus on all of the context when you're looking at a person with a mental health challenge or a substance use disorder. It's important to look at all of the context in which they exist, which is the social determinants of health. So does this person have adequate access to education? Do they have adequate access to housing, to food, to healthcare? All of these things are really important to make sure a person gets into treatment and stays in treatment and recovery. So we have done quite a lot of work to make sure that we either partner with other agencies who work in these areas, or within our own grants, and make sure that there's funding to support all of these services, so that we are providing, we're funding wraparound services for everyone. This is a similar slide. Next is our 988 Lifeline. Is another way we are hoping to expand access and resources for people. The 988 Lifeline, as you all may know, is replaced our National Suicide Prevention Hotline, and it's just made it easier to contact somebody 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Someone to respond. It's a safe place for help. It's it's anonymous, so you can call, text, or chat the 988 number, and you can get you'll have an answer, or you'll be connected with somebody in your community who will be able to assist you, talk you through your current crisis, and kind of help refer you to other treatment options, support give you support resources so that you don't have to experience similar crises again. And if you do, you will know exactly where to go. You can also call this number if you are worried about your friends or family members. It doesn't have to be that you are yourself are experiencing a crisis. And if you are a veteran, I'll talk about it a little bit later, but you can dial 988 and press 1, which will transfer you to the 988, to the veteran 988 lifeline. And then there's a different number for tribal communities as well. It's 988, and then there's like another number extension, but all of the different versions of 988 are meant to provide quick and accessible care to anybody who calls at any time of the day or night. Finally, the workforce shortage has been a significant barrier to just workforce in general has been a significant barrier to people accessing behavioral health services, mental health services more equitably. We know that there is like only 1 in 5 therapists in this country are Black, or sorry, I lied, 4% of therapists in this country are Black or African American. So which kind of speaks to why there is such a significantly lower number of Blacks or African Americans that seek mental health services, because oftentimes there's a lot of cultural mistrust. There's a lot of not understanding of cultures, not understanding of language that kind of keeps people away from seeking services from people who don't look like them. So it's important to increase the number of psychiatrists, psychologists, just mental health, behavioral health professionals, peer workers, peer providers, peer recovery coaches that work in behavioral health, because that then improves mental health services or access to mental health services. And so SAMHSA has several behavioral health workforce development programs. We have a minority mental health fellowship. We have quite a few grants that we partner with SAMHSA with to kind of do some loan repayment programs to encourage people to seek work in behavioral health. We're also working on a few other programs that are kind of coming down the pike. All right, so I know that we've talked about all of these things about mental health that are hard and challenging, but given that this is Mental Health Awareness Month, all of the programs and resources that I have kind of talked about thus far are focused on you being the provider and then giving services to other people. So I just wanted to leave you with some key messages for your own mental health, which is that when it comes to mental health, small actions equal a big impact. As you all know, talking about mental health helps to promote acceptance and encourages people to seek help, whether it's like sharing resources or encouraging others to seek help, or just simply being there for someone when they need us and when we need somebody to ask for help. These small actions really equal a big impact. Next is self-care is important for your mental health. Self-care is not selfish. Mental health is essential to your overall health and quality of life. When you take care of yourself, your physical and emotional health also improve. You become more resilient and can find ways to manage stress in a healthy and positive way, and then can help others more effectively. And third is that we play an important role in one another's mental wellness. So language matters, right? The language we use to talk about mental health can either perpetuate prejudice and discrimination or promote acceptance and compassion. So when it comes to mental health, substance use disorders, words really matter, and it is up to each of us to be a lifeline and share a commitment to care for ourselves and those around us. And last but not least, no matter the situation, there's always help and there's always hope. So it's important to be aware of the signs and symptoms of mental health issues, both in yourselves and those around you. And then to utilize the, quite a lot of resources that exist, not just for your clients, but also for yourselves. Some of those resources are linked here. So SAMHSA has a compendium of mental health resources, both for individuals, families, organizations, providers, just all types of consumers. Here, I've just linked some self-care resources, self-care, mental health self-care for responders and providers, spelled wrong, compassion fatigue, and self-care resources. These are for if you are caring for somebody with a behavioral health challenge. It could be really exhausting, it really tiring, and you would, people in these situations most often don't take the time to take care of themselves. So these are just some resources for that. And then this is just coping tips for traumatic events and disasters. It kind of aligns with what I was talking about earlier, so that after we experience traumatic events or challenges in our lives, we kind of can know how to think about them in different perspectives and take care of ourselves. I also wanted to go over some
Nadia, I hate to interrupt, but I know that you have to leave at 11 o'clock. And so I wanted to give people a chance to ask you a couple of questions. And there were some questions put into the chat box. This has been absolutely fantastic, especially on Mental Health Awareness Month and Action Day. So I really hate to interrupt, but I know you got to get out of here. And I just want people to, if they have any questions, you got about 10 minutes. If you have any questions, you guys can talk to Nadia about the services at SAMHSA. And I get to ask the first question. You talked about the training grants, and how do people get in touch with SAMHSA to find out more information about the training grants, and where do they go to get these?
Okay, so we have on our SAMHSA website, there is, I can send the link afterwards. We have a website with all of our training grants and all of our just funding grants. And there's a contact person for each of those on the pages. So you can contact those. And if you can't identify the contact person, you can just contact me and I can connect you with the right person. We also have like training and technical assistance that is not tied to any grant. So you don't have to be a grantee. We have 3 technical assistance centers, an addiction technical assistance center, mental health technical assistance center, and a prevention technical assistance center. Those are both for substance use and mental health. So they already have quite a lot of trainings, but if there's any trainings that you would like to see but don't see on those websites, it's very easy to contact them. They have their contact information on their website as well, and they can actually work with you to develop some of those trainings that are important for your community. So I will also send the link to those. They're the Great Lakes TTC if you're in Region 5, but we have 10 regions across the country. So if you are not in Region 5, there's an equivalent technical assistance center in your region as well. And you can find all the other regional TTCs from the one website that I will send. So
Very good. Does anybody else have a question for Nadia?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
I know SAMHSA produces a resource guide for the entire country.
Yes.
About the service providers. How does a person get added to that resource guide?
Like you want to be one of the resources listed?
Well, not me. I work for the state, but how does someone else get listed?
So we have our treatment provide, like our I don't know if I got there, but we have our findtreatment.gov website, which is all of our resources for mental health and substance. So on that page, at the bottom of it, And there's a link that says if you want to be added to this, list of treatment providers or what services, you can just email them. You'll have a description of what your organization does, how you're funded, all that stuff, and then they can add you on. It's a fairly easy process. I can send you that information as well.
Okay, thank you.
So Nadia, one of the questions was, if you dial 988 and you get no response, what do you do next?
So you should call again, because generally 988, if a local call center cannot answer your 988 call, it is then transferred to a state center. And then if that state center cannot answer, then a neighboring state answers your call. So you're supposed to be able to get an answer regardless of who is available, immediately next to you. So if anyone has been experiencing unanswered call lines, there's you can, one, email me, and two, there's on the 988 website that I have sent, that is in this slides I will share later. There is a place to put in like complaints and comments and stuff, and they actually read those every week, so you'll have a response.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions for Nadia? Okay. I know you have to leave at 11 o'clock, Nadia, but I know that you put your information into the chat box, and I see mental health training grants from SAMHSA and the website for that. And then also SAMHSA Region 5 and your information. And I just want to say thank you so very much for joining us. And this was so apropos to have you and the next person that we have for Mental Health Awareness Month, and specifically Mental Health Action Day. I appreciate it so very much. And you have my information. You have my number. If you have any questions or you want to come back, feel free to call me or come back anytime you want.
Yes, I'm very, very glad that I was able to come here. Thank you so much for having me. Like I said, I'll share these slides so that you all have all the links and all of the things. And I will share all of the extra stuff that I talked about. And if anyone has any questions, please feel free to email me, call me. I always answer. May not be like immediately, but I'll answer. So yeah, thank you so much for having me. And I will be around for another 3 minutes.
All right, thank you. At this time, we had a couple of more people join us, and I would just like for them to introduce themselves. First of all, we're going to go with Janice. Janice? No?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. All right, Janice, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Janice Horn, and I work with the Family Advocacy Center by the name of Book.
All right. Thank you and welcome. Next, we're going to go with Ms. Hawkins.
Good morning, everybody. This is Faith Hawkins, and I also work with Book Family Advocacy Center.
Thank you and welcome. Next, we're going to go with Lance.
Good morning, everybody. Lance Davis from the Book Organization. We were having some problems getting logged in, so really appreciate this meeting and the information. So good to see you again.
Well, we are so glad that you are here, Bishop Davis. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Next up, we have my girl, Beatrice Ramirez.
Hello, everyone. It is always a pleasure to be here. And I am Beatrice Ramirez from DCFS, Cook County Recruitment and Resources Supervisor. Thank you for the invite.
You're welcome. And thank you for that beautiful smile. Okay, so next up, we have Marianne Bitos. I hope I'm saying that, Marianne. I hope I'm saying that's right. It's Bitos or Bitos?
Bitos.
Bitos, okay. And Mary Ann is the president of NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness for South Suburban Cook County. And I would just have to say, thank you, Marianne. We welcome you, and I am so glad that you could come and join us and talk a little bit about NAMI. Okay, so Marianne, the floor is all yours. And I don't know if you spoke to Kim about, do you have any slides, or are you just going to talk? How are you going to do this?
I'm just going to talk.
Okay. All right. So anyway, so once again, Marianne Bethos, and she is with NAMI, National Alliance on Mental Illness. Take it away, Marianne.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Marianne Bethos, and I'm president of NAMI South Suburbs of Chicago. What NAMI does is we facilitate classes to help family members learn about mental health. And so all the classes are free, and we have support groups for the family members to also come and feel like they're not alone and be able to talk about situations and learn from each other. Somebody can, if they has a situation with one of their loved ones, this is how they handled it. And maybe that's something that gives somebody some information to help them handle that situation differently at one time. We have our family to family class that goes for 8 weeks, and it teaches advocacy, teaches about learning about their medications, how to make sure you know about their side effects so you can know that the medication is working correctly, all kinds of different information that is helpful. I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here, but the classes go for 8 weeks and they're free. And I see there's a question. Go ahead and ask. Did somebody want to ask a question? They got their hand up.
Does anybody want to ask a question? Okay. All right, Marianne, carry on.
That was me. Okay, then we also have another class called Basics, which is a class for families that have children from 21 on to younger. They could take that class online. So you go to nami.org/basics, and they could take the class online to learn about mental health and how to help that child get through what they may be experiencing with their mental health. We try to offer it in the community, but we found that a lot of the families didn't have babysitters. So that's why it is a class that is online. We have a support group for people living with a mental illness. Right now, it's kind of on hold. We have to evaluate how we're going to, since COVID is over, where we're going to be holding those meetings, that type of thing. Our family support groups are the second Monday of the month at Bremen Township in Oak Forest, and we have 2 now at Palos Community Hospital, the second Saturday of each month and the 4th Monday of each month. I think it's important to have support groups in hospitals, especially if they have a mental health unit. They could possibly, have some resources for them, and especially if it's just beginning and they really don't know how to handle what's going on. I think that's all I've got to say for right now. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. So if someone from the South Suburbs wanted to get in touch with NAMI, how would they do it?
Well, they can go to NAMI South Suburbs of Chicago at gmail.com. And we also have NAMI South Suburbs of Chicago.org website where we list our support groups, and we list when we are offering our family to family class or any other events. We just had a mental health event this past Saturday. I wish more people would have showed up, but that's okay. Who came? They had fun, and we had a lot of providers there to give out information. We actually had some of the there's a drop-in center, and it is called Envision. It's not real close, but it's on 97th and Pulaski. They're actually having an open house today. And what it is a person living with a mental illness can go there. It's kind of like a day program like Sertoma or Grand Prairie Services, but it's more for them to have activities. They have activities all day for them. They actually go out and pick up the people. I don't know how long that is going to last. I know they're coming south by us in the south suburbs to pick up people, at least one person that I know of, and they're going into Chicago. So if somebody really wants to have somewhere to go, play games, they have classes for them. They have Zumba, they have Mambo lessons, which I'm going to go. And so they have a lot of different things. It's called a drop-in room. It's different from the living room. And I don't know if you all know about living rooms.
Yes.
Our living rooms in the south suburbs are starting to thrive. The one at Trinity Services, unfortunately, the one at Sertoma is going to close because they can't be open 24 hours. There is one in Hazel Crest. There's one called Choice Intervention. In they have different locations. Any other questions?
So just let me ask you a question about the living room. The living room is like a drop-in center for
Well,
people.
no, a living room is where somebody in crisis calls and they get to talk to somebody who's been trained, which is called a peer specialist. They're trained to help that person living with that illness because they live with an illness themselves, but they are in recovery. I don't know if any of you know this, but Governor State is offering classes to people that live with a mental illness that want to learn how to become a peer specialist. We're going to need more peer specialists because they're going to be employed by 988, the living rooms, and some hospitals are actually looking to hire people that are peer specialists.
Oh, good information. Okay, so I'm gonna stop dominating, but one more thing that I have a question that I have to, like you put a question in about 988, and if you call the number and there's no response, this is my personal opinion. If you call 988 and there is no response, I personally will call 911. So I don't know.
My question actually for that, and I don't mean to interrupt you.
Okay.
Was that this person didn't, he said he talked to them and he got absolutely no help. Now, again, the person could have been living with an illness and maybe they didn't understand. Maybe it wasn't what they were looking for, but she did give an answer to be able to report it to somebody because there again, 988, even though it was supposed to be they're out there helping them. They've got a van that goes out to them and either tries to calm them down so they don't have to go into the hospital or go to the next steps. Now, I've said from the beginning on a lot of the meetings that I go to have been on for 988, we don't have enough resources. Or if we do have them out there, we need more places to find these resources, okay? And I've kind of talked to different providers and said, you know, it'd be nice if all the providers met so they know what they do. If you don't do something, you could send them somewhere else. You know, we're not in competition here. We're all here to help people.
Right, right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you know what? One of the last things that Nadia, one of the last slides that she put up was there is hope and there is help. And I know sometimes it's very difficult obtaining services for mental health, but we have to continue to hope and help and not give up. So does anybody else have any questions for Mary Ann? Any comments? Any suggestions?
And our free educational programs are for family and friends. We actually have a class called Family and Friends. We have a new program called Sharing Hope where we go out into the African American community, and I'm looking for volunteers for Hispanics. I don't speak Spanish, but it's to start the conversation about mental health.
Yeah.
So if you go to NAMI.org and look up any of these programs, it will give you a full description. I'm just giving you a brief scenario.
All right. Thank you so very much, Mary Ann. Thank you for joining us.
You're
I would
welcome.
also like to welcome Lori Knox, Lindsay, Lori. You want to just say who you are and where you're from? Okay, she might be multitasking. And then also I'd like to say welcome to Gia Washington.
Hello.
Hey, hey. And where are you from and what do you do?
I'm from Sertoma Center, and I am the Director of Community Education, our program where we go out and teach about mental health.
Very good. Thank you. Hey, Gia. All right. So Lori, are you there yet? No. Okay. So Marianne, thank you. I don't know where she went to, but thank you for your presentation. We greatly appreciate it, specifically on Mental Health Action Day. Kim, do you want to come on with some announcements? Hey, there you are.
Okay, so thank you, everyone. I do have a few announcements, and I'm going to be adding some links into the chat box. So many of you have probably started to see that we send out the attendance form during every meeting. And so that allows us to sort of document that we are providing this as a community networking service, but we're also sending some certificates out for you guys. Our goal is in the future to be able to also to work with IODAPCA to provide CEUs. And thank you, Gia. I know you're in the training. So I'm glad that you thought about us to jump in.
Yes.
So if you all are able to just complete the attendance form, then that helps us a lot. We are always looking for presenters. We do appreciate Suzette is doing a fantastic job. She always gets us the best speakers. And so we do have a form that we ask presenters to use that just gives us information on your presentation. And it also helps us because we're starting to get requests and inquiries from families that are looking for services. So this is how we're able to identify those services that you all are providing that are in our network so that we can start to help our families a little bit more. Another huge project that we are working on is actually working with Ariel in the Spider database. And we're asking providers to complete our agency linkage agreement. It's a very simple form. It just gives us the opportunity to have an up-to-date database. So if we do get someone that calls and says, hey, I'm looking for this service or that service, you know, one of the things that we really want to do is more of a soft handoff. You know, so you guys are people who are attending the monthly meetings. We have a face with the name. We kind of know a little bit about the services that you're providing. And it helps us feel a little bit more comfortable because if we're talking to a parent that is on their last leg, you know, a lot of times they're reaching out to us because they've seen us, we've worked in the schools. And so there's a trusting relationship. And we want to be able to continue that same energy and do a softer handoff. So I'm putting the agency linkage agreement in so that we'll have a better idea of what services you offer, as well as anything that we may need to know so that we're making sure that we're doing our best to make sure that we're sending people who you can actually work with. We would love to also be able to include any announcements that you all are having, any of your upcoming events, any activities, any of these trainings, programs, and things of that nature. We do try to get a monthly newsletter out once a month. So, of course, if you can send it to us in enough time, we try to get those out at least a week before the meeting, along with the meeting notice. So you can send those to announcements, and I'll put this in the chat box. You can send it to announcements@familycope.org. And then in this month's announcements, we are working with Lincoln Elementary School District. Their SEL steering committee is doing their first annual end of the year community retreat. So we're definitely looking for vendors. It's no charge to participate. We're looking for especially vendors that provide services to students. We want to make sure that our kids this summer have wholesome and structured activities that they can participate in. One of the goals of our network is to really re-engage our youth and families at the community level. COVID wiped out a lot of programs and services. So we're trying to do our due diligence to identify services that are providing enrichment, social and emotional learning services, mentoring, tutoring. So if you're providing any of those services, please come out to Lincoln on the 31st, and you can have direct interaction with the families. We also want to just kind of do a shout out and thank Sertoma Center. We actually just did our mental health first aid training at Lincoln School back just on Tuesday. We were able to train another 13 individuals. These are our school social workers. We had people from DCFS come out. We had a few people come out and represent Family to Family. And we have been doing this with Sertoma probably since the start of the pandemic. And we registered our 188th person for this past week. And I literally just got another a link on the Google form. So Gia, I'll be sending it to you. Someone just registered after the fact. So we're very happy to be able to work with them to provide this service and to help get more people trained. You will be getting more information forthcoming. I'm sorry that Nadia had to leave from SAMHSA, but Family to Family has a stipend from SAMHSA to do a community talks. And this is it's an event that starts the conversation around underage drinking and substance use, which is a huge issue in our community. So I'll be reaching out to people to see if that's something that you guys want to participate in. We're kind of working out the details, but we're looking to do it in place of our virtual meeting in August. So the third Thursday of August. And let's see, I think I have another announcement. We have the Soul Shop for Black Churches is offering a workshop designed for pastors, church staff, and faith-based clinicians and lay leaders to start a conversation about societal discrimination and also addressing suicide through the faith-based community. That is a free workshop. It's going to be on June 3rd. And I actually put the announcements link so you'll be able to scroll down and see that. And another shameless plug, Family to Family is part of the Walmart Spark program. So if you, like me, are an online shopper at Walmart, you can round up and donate your change to Family to Family so that we may continue these great works. And that is it for my announcements.
I do have one announcement. I'm just kind of looking at my my text. Dr. Natalie McHone has an organization called, wait, I'll just hold on a minute. I'm just getting it. Oh, okay, so if anybody else has any information that they want to provide, please feel free while I look for this text from this person. Oh, yeah. Anybody else have any announcements that they want to make?
Because there are some newer updated templates over by the 10-4 mailboxes.
Okay.
Anybody?
So there are no more.
I can't remember what it was like.
There's some over there.
John, we can hear you. John, we can hear you.
Oh, sorry.
I'll help him find the mute button.
I don't.
Can I make a job posting announcement?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Absolutely.
If anybody knows a nurse that would like to apply to Metropolitan to be a nurse home visitor, we do have a position open. We currently have one applicant that will be interviewed soon. But if you know of any nurses specifically who have more like labor and delivery or pediatric experience and are interested in doing home visiting, we do have a job posting available. So spread the word.
Okay, Olivia. Okay, I found it. Kim, I found it. It is Can and Will Help Foundation. Join us again for the annual summer barbecue and care package giveaway, June 17th, 2023 from 1 to 4 in Garfield Park near Washington and Central Park. So that's by the Park District. And this organization basically gives out care packages to the homeless, to mentally ill, to people who are struggling. And then they have like an annual barbecue and they feed everybody. So they're looking for vendors to participate in this event. And then Kim, I'll send it to you so you can post it on our announcement page.
Okay.
All right.
And I do have a couple of other announcements, and I'll ask, one is the Illinois Department of Employment Security. I don't know if you guys know, maybe we can try to get them on, but they have an employment program where if you are hiring, they have a program where they will support your business or your organization. They pay 50% of staff or 50% of salary for a short period of time for some of the covered positions. And they're also looking to place youth 18 to 24 and in full-time employment, and they cover the salary for up to a year, I believe. So please reach out to them, get more information, because I think we can all use a little bit of help, and that'd be a great way to kind of support some of the workforce development. And so I'm gonna kind of ask John as well, if you want to ask any of our guests if they would like to participate in the Inglewood land.
Oh, yeah, sure. I don't remember Inglewood's number, but Inglewood is trying to increase their membership participation in their land. So if anybody's interested in joining the Inglewood land, just let me know. My email is in the chat, and I'll link you to them.
And when do they meet, John?
You know, I go to five of these meetings, Kimberly. I think Inglewood meets on the second Tuesday of the month at 10.
Okay.
Okay.
So John, you go to 5 of these meetings and this one is the best, right?
Oh, of course. It's definitely the most energetic. That's for sure.
I think James Flagg put some information in the chat box. James, did you want to talk about the information you put in the chat box?
Just briefly, piggybacking on what Kim was saying about, you know, there being a shortage of programs or resources for youth in suburban Cook County. I dropped 2 flyers. One is information on our summer youth employment program. As you can see on the flyer, the registration for the youth has ended as of May 12th. We're actually conducting interviews with our youth interns today, tomorrow, and through the rest of this week. But if your organization, agency, church, you know, volunteer partners have space available for youth ages 15 to 18 for an internship, please contact me or see the information on the flyer. Lauren Turner is our youth services coordinator who I wish could be here today, but she's conducting interviews. But we would love to have you host our youth for internship. It's similar to the city of Chicago's One Summer Chicago program. This is our 2nd year doing it, and we're looking to expand in many ways possible. The second flyer I attached, excuse me, was financial assistance for summer camps. So if you know of any kids or families that need financial money to help pay for any type of summer camp, vacation Bible school, day camp, church camp, sports camp, any type of summer program for youth, please leverage those resources. They do have to be suburban Cook County residents and meet the 200% federal poverty guidelines in order to qualify, but we have plenty of funding available, and you know, we would like to support your families if needed. I didn't drop it yet, but I'll put it in there as well. We also have our scholarship applications open. I'll grab that link and drop it in the chat shortly. But our scholarship application closes June 9th. I believe that's a Friday. And so this is a scholarship of up to $5,000. It may range from $3,000 to $5,000 for any 2-year or 4-year college in the state of Illinois. Again, I apologize for not putting that link there, but it'll be in shortly. And then lastly, This is something independent that I'm doing with CETA. We don't provide services directly for returning citizens or second chance citizens or military veterans. But as a military veteran myself, I'm involved in a number of community organizations that empower those populations. So if you're a business that's military friendly or felony friendly and you're looking to hire, we're coordinating a career conference and expo at Malcolm X College on Juneteenth. That is Monday, the 19th of June. The information and link is on that flyer, so feel free to use the QR code to go to the Eventbrite page. And again, if you need any more information, my contact info is above in the chat. Please call, text, or email me. I would love to help out directly, if not, connect you with the smart people who can. So thanks again, and please stand by for that scholarship info. Yes, ma'am, Suzette, you look like you were going to say something.
I'm just going to say that at National Provider Network Land 53, we are just a wealth of information, and it's just so wonderful. And it's like several people I'm listening to. If you guys are networking with each other, you guys can all help each other. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Out loud.
Look, even
I copied
Beatrice.
Ms. Bethos's information, John. I'll be reaching out to you about the Inglewood land. So no, just to echo what Suzette's saying, this is a great network, high energy, but high quality and caliber people. So thanks for the invite, and please leverage me for any type of resources that I can help with. So thanks again, Suzette. Thank you again, Kim.
You're welcome. And I just want to say for James McComb, since you work with the SNAP program, and I know that is something that people are in much need of, because I don't know, I've been hearing in the news about how SNAP is going to go away or whatever, or decrease or whatever. So I would like to talk to you further about maybe doing something in conjunction with us, National Provider Network Land 53, or also to come on and just do a presentation and talk a little bit about SNAP and how people can go to different places to get services, if that's okay with you.
Yes. And I would just like to add that we did follow up with James, great person, full of resources, and we will be collaborating with the extension to bring the Illinois Junior Chef program to Lincoln for the summer. So they'll be working with our Leos this summer. So there's a lot of resources, and I would love to have them come on. So yes, thank you for bringing him out last month, Suzette.
I know. I'm sending like emails. James, come on.
Yes.
Yes, I look forward to us partnering together, and I'd be happy to talk more about some of the work that we do through extension.
Thank you, James. Appreciate you. I'll be in touch.
Okay.
Does anybody else have anything that they want to put out there, or any announcements or any questions or whatever? We're going to be ending a little bit early today. But Kim, I don't know, anybody else have any announcements? I did shoot you that text for the Can and Will program on June the 17th in Washington Park. National Provider Network Land 53, we will be one of the vendors in the park.
And I would just like to just say, please complete the attendance form. That is how we are able to make sure you get the next month's meeting notice. And Nadia sent her presentation. She's emailed that to me. So I'll be able to send that back out to everybody who completed the attendance form, because we stopped making you pre-register. So this is the only way that we can kind of show who's there. And I will put that back in one last time for the people in the back.
I just want to say thank you to everyone who joined us. We appreciate you guys so much. To my brother Charlie, thank you, Charlie, for coming on with us. All right, Kim, is it anything else that we need to put up there? If not, I mean, we're ending at 11:30, so it's pretty good. So thank you to Nadia, and thank you to Marianne for joining us on Mental Health Awareness Month, Mental Health Action Day.
Thank you, ladies, and have a wonderful day.
All right,
Thank
Beatrice.
you all so much.
Anybody else before we leave? No. Hey, Gia, good seeing you.
We get to return you 30 minutes of your day, right?
Yeah.
And to all my multitasking people, thank you very much.
And Bishop Davis, before you go, did he leave already? He
Oh,
left.
Bishop looks like he's trying to unmute.
Okay, unmute, because you know what? What is it? Soul, what was the name of the flyer?
The Soul Pastors Cafe, or let me just pull it back up.
Yeah. You know what? It's the National Suicide Prevention Program. They are trying to contact churches to talk about mental health with pastors to help their parishioners. So maybe that might be something that you would be interested in. If we can send you the flyer though, Bishop Davis. Maybe not you, because you know you're so international, but some other people that you might know, they may be interested in having some sort of the information about the program.
Absolutely. Hey, you know what? I definitely want to connect with you all offline, but it's good seeing both of these Lion sisters on the phone. Let me just say that.
Yes.
On the phone. But looking forward to connecting with you. I do want to talk to you a little bit about my about this international piece. So if you all don't mind, I'd like to reach out for you and see if we can get together for a phone conversation.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Or we could go to lunch, Bishop. We could go to lunch. It's all good.
Okay.
You can feed us. It's all good.
Okay, I think we could do that. We can pull that together. Okay. Let's do it. All right. It's good seeing you both.
All right. Okay.
Good to be seen.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye-bye. You too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Ariel, Kim, what we want to stay? Oh, Ariel is gone. Everybody's gone.
Yeah, we can do a